I get recommendations to look at movies all the time. Now that I've done 3 other videos about bad movies, I'm just like the bad movie channel now, which I'm kind of okay with. I think it's fun watching bad movies, but only if they're like good bad, like this one we're talking about today. My friend Alicius recommended this one to me, and I've gotten a bunch more recommendations, and I will try to get to those as fast as I can, but this one was urgent because it was kind of a horror movie in a way. It's a Jaws wannabe, that's for sure. What movie am I talking about? Sharktopus. It's a shark head on an octopus back. Body. Movie starts out with a guy who just like went to Santa Monica and just started like recording things. Like it's very poorly edited, and it looks like they just used like Windows Movie Maker to put these titles in. And then he starts like recording people, and I guarantee you he did not ask for any of these people's permission to like record them or use them in the movie.
I feel like it's relaxed. Hey. Yeah, what's up? We're just filming a movie. Is it alright if I just get some B-roll of you guys just like laying here?
No thank you, man. I just want to relax today. I don't want to be in a movie.
Nah, come on. It'll be real quick.
No thanks. No thanks.
Alright, well, I'm just gonna stand here and look at the water. Okay. Wow. So beautiful.
Dude.
Huh? Yeah?
Leave.
I just need a few more seconds and...
Hey, yeah, operator, there's a man recording people on the beach in Santa Monica.
It cuts to these 2 girls. One of them decides they want to take a dip in the water. She starts swimming like by herself in the ocean. There's like nobody else in the ocean, which is kind of odd. Then this shark starts stalking her, getting closer and closer. Then her friend sees it and she gets like mildly concerned for her.
Oh my god. Free! Free! Shark! Free! There's a shark! Oh my god! Oh my god, somebody help her, please! There's a shark!
Oh no, the shark is it's a shark. You're gonna die. Oh no. Oh no. Luckily, someone does save her. The hero of this movie, the Sharktopus. Let me just say, the CGI for this movie makes like all the Avengers and MCU movies look like dog water. It is they're horrible compared to the CGI. Look at this. Look at how amazing this looks. It's just so realistic. So realistic. So it turns out Sharktopus has a name called S11, and he's controlled by the CIA, well, like a subgroup of the CIA called the Blue Water Corps. And I say kind of by the CIA because they don't even know what's going on. And after the successful saving of the girl on the beach, the CIA agent wants to see the Sharktopus work. So he tells them to tail the civilian boat. And as S11 gets close to the boat suddenly turns and knocks off the device that they were using to control S11.
Now the carnage can begin.
And then after that, the CIA agent actually blames them for what happened, even though they told him that it's a prototype, it's not ready. So this movie, it juggles like 2 plot lines, but really 4. I think it was a little bit too ambitious, and they had to cut out a little bit. So 2 of the plot lines don't even matter, but I'll try to keep them in. I'll tell them as fast as I can when I get to them. So obviously, the Blue Water Corps have a tracker on Sharktopus, and they have tracked him to Mexico. And they say he's been hanging around there for a bit, so they're going to try to capture him while he's still there. I also love this bald guy, Santos. He's like he's really nice and like one of the only good people in this movie, but it sounds like they dubbed him in. Like the voice doesn't match his lips, neither does it sound like him. Like I feel like he didn't sound foreign enough for them in the movie, so they dubbed him over with somebody that sounded more foreign. Just listen.
He's a greedy bastard, no doubt, but he knows this water is better than anyone, and he knows what we're up against.
Santos mentions a guy that used to work for them, and also one of his friends named Flynn, but he was fired for being too greedy. He was already getting paid a lot of money by them, but he wanted a huge raise, so they just fired him right there. But he's also like kind of a jerk. Like, have you ever met one of those dudes that like is out of the military and like they act like they went to war, but they didn't go to war, but they like they just like swept floors for like 8 hours a day, but they come back and they're all like big macho tough, and they're very serious, and you're not. He's like that. He's like that the whole movie. But man, does he have some great one-liners. Anyways, our homie Santos talks Flynn into helping them capture the Sharktopus so they can bring it back and the CIA will be all happy again for a large amount of money. Cut to a girl metal detecting on the beach when she finds this like gold doubloon, like pirates gold doubloon in the water or in the sand. And like as she's doing this old man is like watching her, and like she bends down obviously, and he's watching her bend down because he's creepy. When she picks up the coin, she starts looking at it, and guess who shows up? Our old pal S11. He just drags a chick into the water, and as he's like dragging her, she's asking for help, and the old man is just standing there watching her get dragged into the water. And he does absolutely nothing to help her. She dies, and you want to know why he does nothing? Because the old man wanted that gold doubloon, baby. He wasn't looking at the girl. He was focused on the bag. He knows what's up. Flynn makes it to the boat, and they tell him the rundown of what's going to happen. They want to tranquilize S11 and shoot him with this tracker dart thing so they can gain control of him again. Cut to the other important group, the only other important group in this movie. It's a news crew, and they're trying to capture footage of S11 and broadcast it to the world. They pull up to this restaurant because they've heard intel from a guy that said that he saw S11. And the dude's in the middle of a restaurant looking at porn. He just has a porn magazine out in the open looking at it. He's looking at one of the long posters, you know, like yeah. He's looking at one of those. So apparently he saw Sharktopus with his own eyes, and he is now very terrified, but nothing that a little money won't fix, am I right? Anyways, they find out S11's been hanging out at resorts because that's where most of the people are. And the news crew decides to do an interview with the dude outside of one of those resorts.
Holy crap!
When S11 just starts swimming up the canal. And of course, S11 just kills and attacks everybody on the beach. After this horrible event just happened in front of their eyes, this is what they have to say.
That was horrible.
Sure. Horrible.
Really? That's all you have to say? You're not gonna, like, I don't know, call the Coast Guard? After he attacks the resort, the Blue Water crew actually lose track of him. And Flynn decides he wants to try to be a dick about the situation.
Keen insight. So glad you came along. Tell me something, Miss Sands. What do you know?
But Nicole knows exactly where S11 is.
I know octopi like big rocks.
But before they go to the area where Nicole thinks S11 will be, Flynn takes the boat to shore and asks her an important question. He mentions that sharks nor octopuses attack without having some kind of reason to. So it doesn't make sense that S11 is attacking all these people for no reason. So there had to be some kind of DNA tampering going on to make him more aggressive. So he mentions maybe her dad has something to do with it. And she's like, no, my dad would never do that. Cut back to the news team. The news girl gets fired for some reason, even though she just gave them this amazing like footage of this shark octopus monster. And then they fired her and they're going to send a new crew out there. But then she decides if she gets more footage of the Sharktopus, then the news crew would take her back and then she could be the head reporter. But they just fired her and she just did that. Doesn't make much sense at all. But the weird guy has a boat, so he offers that he would take them out on his boat and they can go capture and look for him. And as thanks, the news reporter girl gives him a hug. Homeboy decides he wants to cop a feel. Also, that's just sexual assault, but this is 2 movies in a row. It was sexual assault just like, okay, pre-2020. Did nobody care about it at all? Like, this is 2 videos in a row where this has happened. Back to Blue Water Corps. They decided it's a good idea to get in the water with S11 to put the tracking device on him. You know, the water, where it's faster than a human and it's been hunting this whole time. Yeah, they're just going to get in the water. Not to mention that he can walk on land too, but he's just faster in the water. But yeah, their plan makes no sense at all. I don't understand why they thought that was going to be a good idea. The CIA is very mad and they keep calling Dr. Sands and asking him to fix the situation, but he's doing everything he can. So he gets a little frustrated and starts drinking. And he gets a little drunk and mouths off to the CIA agent and actually confesses that he has been tampering with the shark's DNA to make him more aggressive because that's what the CIA wanted. When the CIA agent tells him that they need to capture it quicker because people are dying, he says that's just the price some people have to pay for science. So yeah, he's not looking too stable in the head. I want to take a quick break right here to mention this movie is free on YouTube if you want to watch it. It's free with ads. That's how I watched it. So yeah. Also, if a movie's free on YouTube, you know it's not the greatest thing in the world. So watch with caution. So 3 guys, including Flynn, go into the water to try to tranquilize S11 and put this controller device back in him. And I wonder how that goes. Not too well, I see. Luckily, Flynn makes it out alive with only a minor flesh wound on the leg, but the other 2 men, they're fish food. They're dead. They're gone. And even worse, they didn't even tranquilize him or hit him with the controller dart. They had optimal chance, I'm guessing, but they didn't. I didn't mention this before. Dr. Sands and Nicole are father and daughter. Dr. Sands calls Nicole and lets her know how dangerous S11 actually is. Of course, this pisses her off. She defended him earlier, and it was actually her project that she's been working on. He's kind of taking the credit for it, but she wasn't even consulted about the DNA tampering because he knew that she would not be okay with it. The camera crew pull up around the area where S11 is, and the Blue Water team is trying to convince the reporter team that they need to get out of there, that S11 is really dangerous and that they're going to die. And the weird guy takes their warning and he's going to leave. But reporter girl is not having it. No, no, no. She needs that footage, doesn't she? So she takes the boat keys and throws them. Weird guy's like, well, you're being an asshole, goes to pick him up, and he gets a nice visit from our good old friend S11. All right, and after Flynn gets hurt and that guy just died, Flynn is over not hurting S11 anymore, and he just starts shooting at him. But he does save the reporter girl, so he kind of redeems himself a little bit by saving a life. Cut to the news reporter girl. She has not a single care in the world that she just watched this dude die in front of her. She's more worried about her work and capturing footage. But the cameraman, he didn't take it too well.
Do you feel nothing, Stacy? That guy was killed right in front of us, inches away. Inches away. He was kind of nice guy, you know? Smelled a little funky, but he was okay. Now he's dead.
He talks about quitting, and he's talking about how they need to go home, but she talks him down and pretty much like makes him come with her. And I wasn't going to put this crew in because it really doesn't make... They're one of the ones that don't matter, but I'm going to put it in anyways because it's kind of funny. So there's this radio host who has this like radio station in his boat, and he has a co-host, and the co-host like gives him things to talk about. And she gave him, you know, the Sharktopus story. She told him to warn their listeners about this very real danger that is happening. But he obviously doesn't believe it. He thinks it's a hoax because why would you believe that a shark-octopus hybrid is killing people? So he goes on air to warn his audience, and you know what he says? He claims that the only way to calm the Sharktopus down is to send him nude pictures of virgin girls from the age of 18 to 25. What a great guy, huh? Is every dude in this movie a horrible human being? Feels like it. Anyways, he goes outside the boat and starts talking to his co-host and telling her that it's just a hoax. There's no way that's real. Then he gets a visit from our good friend S11. And this dude might get the award for funniest death. Just look at him. He looks like an inflatable arm-flailing tube man. Flynn decides it's smarter to make S11 come to them, so he starts dumping fish guts into the ocean. And surprise, surprise, it actually works. But S11 gets Santos and drags him into the water. And they did everything they could to try to save him, but it was just not enough. And he dies. The only death in this movie that I was very sad about. And Flynn was very sad about it. Listen. Flynn decides it's time to actually kill S11 and not just tranquilize him, because that's obviously not working. It's not working because Flynn misses every freaking shot he shoots at this shark. It is the most annoying thing in the movie that he cannot hit a shark. Even if it's 2 feet away from him, he cannot hit him with a grenade launcher from 2 feet away. How do you miss that? It explodes. Dr. Sands calls Nicole to... No, not ask if she's okay, to ask if S11 is okay. Flynn takes the phone from her and tells Dr. Sands that he's going to kill the shark. Then Dr. Sands offers him an offer he cannot pass up. He offers him $1 million to keep S11 alive. And then he gives his first one-liner.
Keep your money.
Oh shit, the money boy don't want your money, bitch. He wants to kill this thing. What you gonna do about that, Mr. Sands? Nicole and Flynn make it to a dock where S11 is hiding. Dr. Sands tracks Nicole down using a GPS tracker that is in her laptop. Then he casually mentions that he's going to kill Flynn, or at least tranquilize him or something.
Honestly, Mr. Sands, I don't think that's going to be enough to stop S11.
It's not for S11.
So now Dr. Sands has full 180 turned and is the bad guy in the movie. Well, I guess he did beforehand, but this time it's like for real, for real. Also, let's take another moment to admire the cinema, the beautiful cinema in this movie. Now S11 is apparently bulletproof because bullets don't seem to be affecting him. They look like they're just bouncing off. After Flynn dumps another load of bullets into S11, S11 retreats down the canal, and Flynn and Nicole are chasing after him, but Dr. Sands catches up to them and threatens Flynn's life. And he tells Nicole to go wait in the car. But she finally gets her big girl pants and she puts them on and she tells her dad no. He's been treating her like a kid the whole movie. He's been calling her pumpkin the whole movie, no matter how many times she tells him to stop, but he just doesn't listen. She tells him that S11 is too dangerous and that they need to kill it. And he's like, no, it's his scientific experiment. No one's death can get in the way, even hers. Dad of the Year award, am I right? But just in the nick of time, S11 makes another appearance. And I might have to give the funniest death award to this guy because he gave us a little twirl before he died. As he's getting crushed, he get a little twirl. Look at it. S11 grabs Nicole's ankles and starts dragging her. But Dr. Sands saves her, even though he literally just said that her death wouldn't matter. So I guess he tried redeeming himself right before this happens. Then he has a typical death scene where he's trying to give his daughter like one last message. But before he dies, he says this.
I love you, Pop.
Oh, how sweet. She then leaves her dad's body right there to go with Flynn to kill S11. But guess who decides to show up? Yep, the reporter girl. She offers them her van as long as she can come with them and record everything. Then another banger one-liner from Flynn.
No names, no interviews.
Then what the hell do I get?
Exclusive footage of Sharktopus getting shot to hell.
Oh, baby. I love the one-liners. Oh, he's so good at it. S11 then climbs into a freshwater river, which I don't think he would be able to survive because he's a sea creature and this is freshwater and he's a sea creature and that doesn't add up. Anyways, he kills this one girl who doesn't seem too panicked that she's being eaten alive by a shark-octopus hybrid. And then he does this sick like catch in midair. I love it. I think that's like a cool scene. I don't know. Sharktopus is my favorite character in this movie. He beat everybody. If anybody needed to not die, it was S11. That's all I'm going to say about that. The crew pulls up as S11 is terrorizing the whole resort, and they come to save the day. Flynn mentions that he's out of both bullets and grenades because he missed all his freaking shots. And Nicole offers that they shoot him with the controller device. And he's like, we're over that. We're done with that. And she's like, no, we have a kill switch for him. So if they tag him with the controller device, they can make him explode from the inside. Why didn't she mention this beforehand? I don't know. Maybe they would have done that before. The cameraman finally has enough and quits his job right there. Then we get another one-liner from our good friend Flynn.
Here, it's the last one, so you better not miss.
Oh, I've been missing all day and I'm getting tired of it.
That one wasn't as cool. Can you please stop missing your shots? I would not play Call of Duty with this kid. The reporter lady kind of comes to her senses and realizes that maybe she's being a little too dangerous, but she still wants to get that footage. So she starts looking for the camera guy. And as she's looking for him, she finds his camera covered in blood on the floor. She decides to pick it up and record for herself when she sees our good friend S11. This is like the most satisfying death scene in the whole movie. She annoyed the shit out of me. And apparently S11 didn't like her either because he yeets her out of frame. Flynn takes that time to shoot him with the controller device. And he actually didn't miss this time. Then he runs very slowly, fighting off S11 with a stick, and he decides he's going to get away by jumping in the water. He does like everything that I would think is a bad idea to try to get away from S11. Nicole tries to activate the kill switch, but there's a password. She doesn't know the password, only her dad knows the password. So she starts trying to figure out the password really quick as Flynn is dying in front of us, and she's trying to guess the password. She's trying to guess, and then it comes to her brain. Pumpkin. The password was pumpkin. So he wasn't saying I love you, pumpkin. He was saying I love you, here's the password to the kill switch. S11 explodes and dies. Anyways, that was Sharktopus. That was an experience again. I've had very many experiences the past few weeks. If you like this video, you would probably like this video right here. It's called Troll 2. It's kind of the same vibe, kind of the same feel. Why don't you go check it out? I have been King Newsme. Happy Halloween. Thank you for watching the video. I love you all, and peace.